Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for your time to join all of us in this virtual product demonstration of our project, Potential Ways of Minimizing Traffic Congestion in Adelaide CBD. The agenda for this presentation includes introduction, literature synthesis, descriptive and predictive analysis. We'll also present some recommendation, and we'll conclude this presentation by giving you the overall summary. So let's begin our presentation. The group member of this project are Pankaj Verma, Rubal Mandial, Nisha Patel, and Gurjeet Singh, and this is their role in this project. Overall, we all have worked very hard and spent almost 380 hours to complete this project. So let's begin this presentation by the introduction. The aim of this project is to identify the potential ways of minimizing traffic congestion in Adelaide CBD. The reason why we chose this project was because the problem of traffic congestion is uprising in Adelaide, and we wanted to do something for the Department of Transportation. We have also worked on highlighting the problem of traffic congestion. We have determined the impact of traffic congestion, understand the causes of traffic congestion. We will be suggesting some solution, and we'll show you what we have understood about the risks and limitation of this project. So there is a report that has been generated by DPTI, and they have confirmed that the traffic congestion is increasing on the roads of Adelaide. They have also confirmed that the cost of delays on the road of Adelaide is projected to reach $4 billion by 2031. Traffic congestion not only affects commuters, but it also affects businesses, freights, and public transport. Overall, it put financial implications on the growth of economy. It deteriorates individual productivity, and also it puts negative impact on supply chain. So now it is completely up to us whether do we want to lose $4 billion or shall we save these $4 billion? So DPTI, which is Department of Planning and Transportation and Infrastructure, has a vision of keep metro traffic moving, which means they want to smooth the traffic congestion and the flow of traffic. And our vision is about the minimizing of traffic congestion. So there is strong relation between our vision, which will both of us lead to one mutual destination. So that's why we wanted to do something that can help DPTI to reach their ultimate goal. So overall in this project, we have classified problems into three categories. The first category is optimizing traffic movement. Second category is network operations. And third category is optimizing use of public transportation. In the first category, we have classified roadworks and road crashes, which leads to staggering of traffic and the emergency vehicle that causes delays of traffic. Second, improper layout of driveways, entrance to intersection that leads to long traffic hold and also disrupts the traffic flow. And third, that unpopularity of public transportation among the people, which leads to make them use their private cars, which increases the traffic volume or the private vehicles on the road. So these are the three problems or the three categories of problem which I must say we have analyzed, and all our project will be circling around these problem statements. These are the 8 user stories that we have developed, and so all our visualizations and the analysis will be circling around them as well, and so that we can actually generate fruitful information for all the stakeholders involved. Now moving on to literature review, and in order to continue this presentation, I would like Nisha Patel to take us further along.
Thank you, Pankaj. Hello, everyone. In literature review, we have included Prisma flow diagram, in which the aim of Prisma flow diagram is to help researchers to improve reporting, systematic review, and meta-analysis. In our literature review, we have read 290 articles from databases and 80 from other sources. After collecting all these articles, we divided those articles into three different categories: directly related to our project, indirectly related to our project, and not related to our project. After dividing it, we filtered and removed this duplicated articles. And after testifying the eligibility of the articles, in the end, we have included total number of 80 articles in our research. After going through literature review, we found research gaps with three parameters. To identify the root causes of traffic congestion leading in Adelaide, to determine the impact of traffic congestion on the daily routine life of citizens, to determine the niche in implementing the latest technology in reducing level of traffic volume, and these technologies are used in other developed countries. We have applied qualitative research type in that with the help of ethnographic narrative and agile methodology, we have divided our research into two different types, that is descriptive and predictive. In descriptive, with the help of data, we have analyzed the potential causes of traffic congestion. For an example, road crashes, peak times for infrastructure of roads and city work in progress. Whereas predictive analysis helps to explore the trends and predict future relationships based on the past statistical records. In research methodology, first is ethnography. As we usually all travel for different purposes, such as for our work, for study, for events, parties, and in many occasions we have arrived late, and which has created frustration among us, our families, family members, and our colleagues. And this has inspired us to look into the traffic congestion and analyze the potential ways of minimizing the traffic congestion. Second is narrative approach. In this narrative approach, we have conducted online survey in which we have added open-ended questions to know the opinions of participants about public transportation, in which we have found that they like their private vehicles because the public transportation is lacking the connectivity as well as frequency. Third is agile methodology. We have conducted frequent meetings with clients, and we have tried to understand the requirements of client, and based on that we have edited, altered, and modified our research. And among that, we have divided our research into three different types, in which agile methodology has helped us in retrieving, modifying, and processing data smoothly. Last, that's data collection, in which we have collected data from open source such as Data.gov, Hackerspack, and location for traffic volume, road crashes, locations, intersections, where the traffic congestion is seen to be maximum. Second, we have collected articles from Federation database as well as Google Scholar. And last, the report we have collected from the DPTI to understand the traffic congestion more deeply and to gain more deep knowledge and insight about traffic. From here on, I'll pass it to Gurjit. And Gurjit, Gurjit, you can carry on. Thank you.
Thank you, Nisha. Let's continue with the presentation. So we have divided our whole project into three phases as per our project requirement. Sprint 1, project planning, Sprint 2, which was project initiation, and Sprint 3, which is project testing. We have obtained the client, in Sprint 1, we have obtained the client requirements of the DPTI. To fulfill their requirement, we have collected several datasets, and we have selected Power BI as our tool. We have also identified the risk and the limitations that were associated with this project. And we have done this project remotely because of the COVID-19. So we have decided a common platform to communicate, that is Zoom. In Sprint 2, everybody has gone through different tutorials of Power BI. By doing this, we were able to create interactive dashboards with the help of descriptive analysis. We had identify and explain the trends of visualization. In Sprint 3, we used forecasting feature of a Power BI tool by using different parameters. To deliver this project, we had to choose a framework. So we have chosen a Scrum framework. It is an agile way to manage and deliver the product. We had conducted client meetings through which we were managed to obtain DPTA expectation. We developed a product backlog in which we did the task prioritization. In each sprint, we have segregated our task. Like in sprint 1, we have done resource allocation tools, which we're gonna use in this project communication path. And the sprint 2 was all about the data analysis. In this sprint 2, we have gathered the data, analyzed the data, cleansed the data, and we have created a visualization. In sprint 3, we have done the predictive analysis, as I told you, by using the forecasting feature of the Power BI tool. We have considered the main parameters like population growth, licensed issue, car registration, and road crashes. Along with that, we have done the testing and the evaluation of our result by using this sample data so that we can have reduced error in our analysis. The second framework that we used is guided inquiry. In simple word, this framework is like how we learn. Let's have a look. As you guys can see on the screen, it has 8 phases. First one is open, in which we did brainstorming. For example, we tried to find out the root cause of the traffic congestion, and followed by immerse. We tried to understand the traffic pattern and the planning process. In the Explorer, we had access to add insights software from the DPTI, and we went through the number of articles through which we came to know about the different technologies that were used by the different countries to handle the traffic. Likewise, the impact of traffic congestion on the economy. We also identified the parameter that affects the traffic congestion. We have gathered that data sets based on these parameters, and by using these data set, we have created a different visualization. We have shared our progress through the different sprint retrospective, and we have evaluated our results and achievements as well. Moving next, in this slide, this is action research. It's a systematic inquiry conducted as response of any problem, like based on the reflective thinking. Process framework in order to improve or mitigate the problem, like our aim is mitigate the traffic congestion. Every one of us took the parameter to work on that. So we have developed a search quotient. On the basis of selected parameter, we have started analyzing the data set and we have documented our result. I would like to show you the visualization that we created. Let's have a look. On the top left hand side of the screen, there is a year filter pane through which the whole dashboard can be filtered out as per the year. If you would click on 2018, the whole dashboard will represent the figures of this year. So basically, you can analyze that from the left hand side. Adelaide has recorded most of the crashes, and the travel speed, which is supposed to be pretty close to 60, is only 36. That means we are lagging in the travel speed performance as well. And driveway or the entrance is the prominent cause of road crashes. And on the top right hand side, you guys can see the traffic volume. Population, car registration is getting increased yearly. This dashboard represents the predictive analysis of 2020. As you guys can see on the top left hand side, the expected count by year 2020 of the registered vehicle would be 1.45 million, which was 1.42 million in 2019. And the expected population would get increased to 1.76 million by the end of 2020. The below graph represents the figures of total crash happened in each month. So you can compare each month with respect to the upcoming year. In December 2019, the total crashes was 985, which is expected to be increased to 1128. On the top right hand side, it's showing the total vehicle exposure on Curry Street and Glover Avenue in 2019, which is expected to reach 77,343 by the end of 2020. So that's it from my side. I would like to invite Ruber to cover up the rest of the things. Thank you.
Thanks, Gurjit. Hello, everyone. Now I'm going to show the evidence of work that our team has already discussed with you so far. So the first figure over here is representing the brainstorming sessions that we had between us. And the another one is the Gantt chart that helped us in scheduling our work and prioritizing our task accordingly. In the third figure is representing the product backlog. And the last one is a screenshot of visualizations that we created throughout the sprint. Moving on to next is the product usefulness. So by product usefulness, we mean what sort of positive impact it puts overall. Firstly, it will assist our client DPTI in getting a clear picture of parameters relating to the traffic congestion that will offer them an options or ideas to invest in the parameters, as they do not have any have to face any chance of failure or loss in future, which is around $4 billion, which they have already projected in. Next is contribution or implementing clearways and bus priority lanes. So this will help DPTI to understand what are the busiest intersections of the city, so they can build priority lanes for buses to run separately, target busy intersections, and upgrade public transportation. So with this research, DPTI will be able to get exactness of point, like why people are not using the public transport and they are more inclined towards using their own private vehicles. For instance, heavy vehicle like trucks that enters in the city can be allocated different time frames to move around. So this will reduce the chances of the traffic congestion if they are allocated different time frames. Secondly, roadworks should always be conducted either in the night times or the non-peak hours, when there is less chance of traffic jams to happen. So with this project, DPTI would be able to understand these small but major reasons leading to traffic, and they can communicate with the road operators to improve the quality of traffic modeling. So moving on to next, here is the evolution of the product. So here are the user stories with acceptance criteria. So while building our user stories, we have written acceptance criteria as well as to pair our visualizations. So it has helped us to observe that we are progressing to the right direction or not. Next one is the SWOT analysis. So here our strengths were support from DPTI experts, budget planning by DPTI as they have availability of resources. Next, we can make implementation of recommendations in terms of the technology, as it is easy to monitor due to less crowd in Adelaide. The weaknesses we believe were like due to COVID, it is not possible to make any huge investments. Also, there are fast-paced changing trends in traffic patterns. So we are not sure that these technologies will be working right or not. So the opportunities were the latest advancements in technologies may cut the system cost, and it also will save $4 billion investments of DPTI. And lastly, the threats that we came across were cyber attack. Anybody can hack into the system. Also due to the weak internet accurate transmission of data cannot be possible sometimes. So moving on to the next slide, here are the recommendations. So these are the main recommendations that we would address to DPTI, like the latest technologies introduced to mitigate traffic congestion in different countries, like floating car data, ERP, that is electronic road pricing, the Scoot system. But there are many more recommendations as well, which we have included in our report for more clear ideas. And moving on to the next, here is our conclusion. So we have completed our project in two phases, that is the predictive and the descriptive one. And in descriptive analysis, we have presented what is the actual problem, and in the predictive analysis, we have discussed what sort of obstacles it can create in future. Secondly, the parameters that we have analyzed are the MetroCAD scans, road crash data, traffic volume versus population, license registrations, and so on. And we have descriptive analysis on these parameters that have been represented already. Lastly, we have some of our recommendations that have been discussed previously. We hope that you like our presentation, and we would like to answer any sort of doubts if you have. Thank you so much for your time.